Good evening and welcome to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are moving pretty quickly to 10,600 subscribers. And if you could smash a like on the video or the stream, however you're watching it, I would be incredibly grateful as well. Loads of you here. Look, I think it's a double holiday day today. I think it's Labor Day in America and it's a bank holiday in the UK. So plenty of people will have had today off, and there are loads of you here which you'll love to see. Not a crazy amount of news, but I think there's some decent discussion to be had around Pep and Arteta. There is some news we'll get into, but look, Pekka, Jakob, Woodsy, Sportcat, Mr. Nimbus. I mean, Sportcat's the Chelsea fan in here. We'll talk about Chelsea and Maresca, and then moving on to their fourth Mikel Arteta under their new owners. Icarus Junior Films, VV Vlad, Ethan Udall, Vincent, Pedro, K Stewart, hi from across the pond. First time I've been able to catch you live. Hooray. Well, welcome from across the pond and happy Labor Day, if that is a thing that's happening. Hyper Protagonist, Raz, Daryl Mako, Hannah, Philip, Ross Lawman, Reese, and many, many more. It is good to see you all. I do hope you're doing well. Max is in the building. Good to see you. Children's Day in Nigeria. There you go. All across the world, we are all celebrating today. Memorial Day. Is that different to Labor Day? I've got no idea, to be honest with you. But it's a day. It is a day in America of some description. So I hope that day has gone well for you over across the pond. Yeah, loads of news going on around at other clubs. The Arsenal news is pretty dry, which isn't a bad thing. Do you know what? It's not a bad thing. The only real news that's come out today, Craig Hope in the Daily Mail, Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale is on the list of targets for Newcastle United. But at present, sources say the asking price is too high. The fee being mooted is at least 30 million. So I don't like that. I don't like that. The fact that we're asking for 30 million and teams are saying that's too high doesn't bode well for whatever we end up selling him for if 30 million is too high. Maybe we hold on to him later in the summer. You know, if teams are looking, scrapping around for a keeper, they'll pay more. I don't know. Memorial Day is for the fallen soldiers. There you go. So that's kind of like our Remembrance Day, I guess. There you go. Not a bank holiday in Ireland. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. It's a day in Canada too. Miserable Monday. There you go. There you go. Apparently, Chelsea want James Trafford for 20 million and we can't sell Ramsdale for 30. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It really is. So yeah, look, I mean, you know, if Newcastle aren't willing to pay 30 million for him, don't sell him. You know, at that point, don't sell him. Any news on Gabby's injury? No, I don't think we've really had much news on Gabby's injury, to be honest. As far as I'm aware, he's still he's still going to Copa America. So my feeling is that whatever it is, it's not serious. Can't believe 30 million is deemed too high for someone who was number one for the second best team in the league last season. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Lokonga has confirmed that he'll be leaving. We spoke about that a couple of days ago. Nothing's really changed there. He just confirmed that he'll be leaving. Couldn't really care less if we only win one title after Pep leaves next summer, as it will just reaffirm the 115 charges. Yeah, look, we will talk about that. We will talk about that because I do think it's quite interesting. Under 17 England game just started. Good stuff. I assume Ethan Nwaneri is playing in that. I would imagine Ethan Nwaneri will be playing. So we'll keep an eye on him. But yeah, look, this conversation's come around today, or well, it's been buzzing around for ages, but it came out last night that Pep Guardiola supposedly is looking like he's going to leave next summer. Now, actually, if I'm honest with you, the article last night that's got people buzzing around it, it didn't add anything new. So I do feel like people are kind of overreacting to that news. It really didn't add anything that we don't already know. It just kind of continued the conversation. And people got, I think because the headline caught people. Ultimately, the article said, you know, his contract is up in 2025 and some senior figures around Man City think that, you know, he's not going to extend beyond that. There was nothing tangibly new to suggest that he is going to go. But look, people are talking about it, so we'll talk about it. He wants to dip before the 115 verdict comes. Yeah, again, you know, people say that. the verdict's going to come before that anyway. The verdict, I don't think, is going to come next summer. I think it's going to come before that. So I just think ultimately the journalist that broke that is reliable. He is reliable. He is reliable, and the story is credible. It's just that it hasn't added anything new, I don't think. That I think is the big difference. Hit the likes, people. Yeah, if you could hit the like button as you're on your way in or on your way out, if you jump off at any point. But the question is, does Arteta need to beat Pep Guardiola before he leaves? And I've seen a lot of people saying this on Twitter. I've seen a lot of people saying on Twitter, Arteta has to beat Pep Guardiola. Max is in the building and he has gifted 10 memberships to the channel. Honestly, Max, you are just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Max is the GOAT of the channel and he has gifted 10 memberships. If you've just become a member, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the membership club. Enjoy your green name. And please make sure you thank Max in the chat. As always, I can't thank Max enough for the way that he has supported this channel. And 10 gifted is unbelievable, Max. So thank you very, very much. And I hope you're doing well, Max. I do hope you are doing well. An absolute legend. An absolute legend. I'd still agree Pep's the greatest manager of all time, but it is kind of funny that financial scandals follow the clubs he goes to. Yeah, I mean, look, I've said it before. I think Man City got incredibly lucky that in Pep Guardiola, they found a man that has no morals. They found a man that happily cheated as a player multiple times, even after being caught. And, you know, it's fortunate for them that the best manager in the world happens to have no conscience and happens to be happy to cheat. Rory to get 115 charges with oil tycoon Max funding the channel. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. If Max was the daddy, Rory would be the oil. Okay. No, look, you know, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. But no, on the whole thing of like, does Arteta have to beat Pep Guardiola? No. No is the answer. Arteta doesn't have to beat Pep Guardiola. If Guardiola leaves and then Pep wins 2 or 3 titles in a row, he's a great in his own right. Yes, it would be nice if Arteta beat Pep Guardiola. Yes, the narrative of the apprentice beating the master, of Arsenal beating that juiced up City team with Pep Guardiola, doing it properly, like all of that would be very, very nice. But he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to do it. As if somehow winning the league after Guardiola's gone would be less of anything. You know, the league title is the league title. I think for a long time, Arsenal have been setting us up and preparing to take advantage of the post-Guardiola era. I do think if you look at the fact, and someone wrote about this recently, and I want to credit them, but I can't remember who it was. It might have been Gunner Blog, but it might have been someone else. But someone said this recently, and I've said it before. I think a lot of this project has been building up to fire when Guardiola goes. Look, if we can beat Guardiola before he goes, happy days. Unbelievable, ridiculous achievement. But if we can't, then you better make damn well sure that the first season when he's not at Man City, which if they're going to drop off, it's going to be then, we are ready to pounce. And I think we did it last summer. You know, we brought in some great... Fizzy, thank you very, very much for the gifted membership. Fizzy has gifted a membership to the channel. I don't know who that went to, Fizzy, but thank you very, very much for the support. And look, if you've just been gifted a membership by Fizzy, please do make sure to thank him in the chat. Fizzy, I am grateful for that. So thank you. Is it Ronan? There you go. Ronan, I think, is the one that's just been gifted it. So there you go. Congratulations. Welcome to the channel. And again, thank you, Fizzy. But look, I think last summer, we could maybe have gone bigger, but we aged down again. The squad aged down again last summer. We've kept the squad incredibly young. We are still, with the absolute majority of our players and squad, we're still not at our prime. And I do think a significant part of that is basically just building us up for that season. That season where Pep goes, bam, we have to be the ones that capitalize. And if we don't, that is a massive, massive problem. That is a massive, it would have all kind of been for nothing. If Pep leaves and either the new manager comes in and still wins or someone else takes advantage, freaking Arne Slot, if he comes in and wins it, or bloody Maresca at Chelsea, or God forbid, Big Ange, then we have big, big conversations to have. But until that happens, I think we're all good. Max, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, the 10 Australian dollars. He says, Rory, has your buy-sell changed? Who do you want this summer and who do you want sold? Congratulations to the new members. Rory has his own 115 charges. I do. I've got 115 charges. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the $10 as well. Has my buy/sell changed? And who do I want this summer? I wouldn't say it's changed. I would say one of them has changed. Ousmane Diomande has probably changed. I'm not as hot on Ousmane Diomande now. And not necessarily because, look, he in his own way has not fallen off. He's 20 years old, but his trajectory hasn't continued towards the end of the season. And I also just don't think that that's a priority right now. I do think Gyökeres is still the guy I want, though I don't think it's as likely as previously. I think the chances of Gyökeres happening are slightly falling away. Has the midfielder changed? Maybe the midfielder's changed. I don't think João Neves was massively on my radar previously until we got linked to him. So maybe that's changed. I didn't really think or consider a left back, but apparently we're going for one. So it's one of those, I guess in ways I'm kind of going with the flow of the links. I do still desperately think we need a winger, a pacey winger that can be a backup for Saka. Has that player changed? Maybe. I mean, I'd still really like Elise, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I guess one thing that has changed is I think we need two midfielders. I think previously, especially when I made that video going through my kind of dream window, I'm pretty sure I only had one midfielder. And I think at the time it was Kimmich. I'd still take Kimmich, to be fair. But I think one thing that has changed is I think we need two midfielders. If we're losing Lokonga, we're losing Partey, we're losing El Neni, Jorginho we got 1 year left of. I think even with the likes of Nwaneri coming through, I do think we need two midfielders. I think we need one that is ready to start. Because look, I don't want Jorginho to be the first choice partner for Declan Rice at the start of next season. I think that would be problematic. So I rate Jorginho massively. But if he's the number one, then we've got a problem because we haven't improved from this year at that point. So I think we need two midfielders. I think we need one that comes straight in. I think we need another one that has a year to grow and develop with Jorginho and Rice and the first person that we buy ahead of them. So yeah, maybe that's where the priority has slightly changed. We need a really good 8. We do. The more I'm thinking about it as well, don't get me wrong, I don't think Bruno G is the perfect guy for us. I don't look out there and go, of all of the midfielders available, the perfect guy for us is Bruno G. My worry is that Bruno G is almost perfect for Man City. I think Bruno G, in terms of what you want alongside Rodri, Bruno G does more running than any other player in the league. He's good enough on the ball. I think he's almost perfect for Man City. And so it's almost one of those where I look at it and I go, Bruno G would be brilliant for us and it would stop Man City getting him. And I kind of look at him in that sense as someone that maybe he is the number one. Maybe he is the number one. I'm not sure is the honest truth, Max, but it's one of those. Look, you know how I feel about Arteta. If Arteta wants them, I'm not going to complain, and I will back it. I say we need Bruno G a lot. Oh, he'd massively upgrade our team. For sure. Why would Bruno want to go to City when Pep is leaving? Well, that is actually an interesting thing that I wanted to talk about. Is Arsenal a better prospect than Man City now? If you're moving clubs this summer, is Arsenal a better prospect? Now, we know that Declan Rice wanted to go to Arsenal anyway. But for the majority of players now, if you're looking at Man City and the future of Man City, of course, you are more than likely going to win things if you go to Man City. You look at players like Matheus Nunes. He's gone there for a year. He might now end up in Saudi. Was it worth it for Matheus Nunes? Yes, he's won a Premier League, but he didn't really take part in it, and he's getting moved on. And if you're looking to what Man City are going to be, you don't know what's going to happen with the charges. You don't know what the shake-up at the club's going to be after those charges hit. Pep Guardiola may not be there. Are you going to want to play under the manager that comes after that? Are you going to want to have to fight for your place under a new manager? If you're at Man City and you're not winning things, really, what is the point? Because realistically, like all of the stuff that comes with Man City in terms of playing for a club that's got all those charges, in terms of, truthfully not having that global fan base, all of the negatives that come with Man City, for a lot of players, they're overridden by the fact that you go there, you're going to win, right? It's almost a guaranteed ticket to success and to stat padding your CV with trophies. But if you're not guaranteed those trophies, which you're not after Pep leaves, I don't think it's as good a prospect as Arsenal. I really don't. City wanted Paqueta, but now he's being charged. He'll fit right in with the 115. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if they signed Paqueta and then just gave Paqueta the same lawyers that they've got fighting the 115. 162 people here. Hit the likes, people. Yeah, if you could hit a like, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Have you seen the videos from City's trophy parade? I have seen the videos from City's trophy parade. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Do you know what was worse, though? I was seeing on Twitter this morning, right, tweets from like the big City accounts, and some of them were trying to get away with putting pictures from the treble parade last year in with pictures from yesterday and pretending that all of those people were there. It was like you zoomed in on the bus and it had treble winners on the front of the bus. The PR to try and make it look like they've got a decent fan base is incredible. I think if Inzaghi goes to City, they will still be a top team and will be quite hard to get past them. I agree. Look, if City do lose Pep next summer, I think there's one season that you are truly the favourites to beat City in. And it's the first season. Even if you look back at when Pep arrived at City, right? Now, their squad was not as good when Pep arrived as it is now. But I still think that first season, it'd be incredibly impressive to go on and win the league against Arteta's Arsenal, the current Arteta Arsenal. You could come in and the general standard of the league drops for a year. You end up, you can end up winning the league on 84, 85 points, and any manager could do that. But if they, even Inzaghi, I think takes a year at least. Even Xabi Alonso, whoever it is, they take a year. I think they take a year. Ow, Max! Oh my God, Max has gifted another 10 membership. Max, thank you so much. Again, get the membership by Max. Please do make sure to thank in the stream. I'm just Max, please. Your support is unbelievable. Max Abramovich, yeah, we've got Max Abramovich, we've got Max Mansur, Sheikh Max, whatever he wants to be called. If it's lagging, I apologize. The internet is struggling, so I apologize if we're lagging a bit. But Max, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the internet. It is struggling. We'll try and soldier through it, though. We will try and soldier through the internet problems. I'm sure Max appreciates those kind of words. That he definitely heard through the lag. I hope he did. I don't know why it's lagging so much. Bloody Virgin. Honestly, Max. Max, you need to take over Virgin, to be quite honest. You need to have a Virgin. It's the best now. Am I still here? I don't know. Well, we're here. We're back. I don't know. Barely. Barely. We're back. We can kind of hear you. Oh, God. Oh, God. Virgin, honestly, the worst thing. Virgin are the worst. No camera, but full audio. We'll take it. Too many things. It broke it. Back. We're still not back properly. Right, you can hear me. If you can hear me, now it's just a podcast. It's just by the guy. It's been now running a podcast, and audio is bad. We cannot hear. Audio keeps cutting out as well. I think it's all going on. I think it's all. We're back. Oh, God. Am I back? I don't know. I see movement. I was back for a second. No. Back. Try restarting stream. Yeah, but that's the internet's the problem. I think it's not the stream that's the issue, it's the internet. It's just fucking urgent. It's just the. I don't get it. I don't get why their internet is so shit. Kind of, yeah. It's not. If you stop the stream, we come back. I can try, but it's not looking good. Some people are saying it's back. Some people are saying we're back. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. The audio's getting better. I honestly, I don't know. 6:30 at night is a bad time for internet. Yeah, but it shouldn't be a bad time for internet for the amount of money I fucking pay for it. I couldn't give a shit if other people's Wi-Fi isn't good. I pay more money than them. My internet is meant to be good. I pay a lot of money for it to be good. And Virgin are just robbing bastards. That's the issue. That's the bloody issue. Change Wi-Fi. I did change Wi-Fi. I did change Wi-Fi. I changed the Wi-Fi to Virgin. No, it's not back. It was back for a second. It was back for a second, and now it's gone again. Okay. Are we back? I don't know if we're back. I've got a feeling we're not back. Thoughts on McKenna staying at Ipswich? I'm glad he is staying. I'm using Ethernet, yeah. I am using Ethernet. Okay, brilliant. Well, I've got a notification from Virgin. Oh, it looks like there's an intermittent signal issue in your area. Fuck off. Sort it then. Honestly. We're sort of back. Look, if we can run it as a podcast, we'll run it as a podcast. It's going to be awful for people watching it back, and I can only apologize. If you're watching it back, whatever you've just been through, I can only apologize. We're good. Yeah, but there's an intermittent signal issue. Fix it. Honestly. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's clear and perfect now. Yeah, everyone says we're back, and then we're not back. Everyone says we're fully back, and then we're not back. James said, "Thank you for the membership, whoever gifted." James, there is a No, it was AFC Max. I was gonna say there's like a 5% chance it was Fizzy, but Ronan got Fizzy, so it was Max. It was Max. You can thank Max for that one. And Max has given $2. VAR said you're back. Sorry for breaking your stream. Max, honestly, thank you for the $2. And yeah, you didn't rate the stream. You didn't rate the stream, Max. It was fucking Virgin. They broke the stream, as always. Anyway, I think we are kind of back. Do you think the Euros is the best way for Saka to change the negative narrative he's garnered this season? Yes, I do. I do think if Saka puts up a good Euros, people will be straight back onto loving Saka again. There you go. We are back. Honestly, fucking Virgin. Hi, Rory. Just came on to say hi. On holiday right now, so won't be able to win. Guess the non-gooner. I'll be back soon, though, to claim my inevitable crown. Sportcat, enjoy your holiday. You could go out. I don't know where you're on holiday, Sportcat, but if you're anywhere near Marbella, that's where Maresca and your owners currently are. They're living it large in Marbella at the moment. So if Rambo links are right and Newcastle think 30 million is too high, it's so hypocritical of them considering they wanted 250 million combined for Isak and Bruno. Yeah, imagine that. They want like 150 million for Isak. 150 million for Isak, but Ramsdale's only worth 30 million. So Isak is worth 5 Aaron Ramsdales in the minds of Newcastle United. And that's why you're not playing in Europe next season, you big frauds. Are the Rashford links real? Reliable source? It's an all right in the know on Twitter in terms of AFC Camden. I just don't think it will happen. I just don't think Rashford would happen. It just doesn't make any logical sense. Also, is Rashford going to take... Rashford signed a new contract at United last summer on about 400 grand a week that runs until 2028. You're telling me Rashford this summer, with 4 years left on that deal, is gonna take a what? What sort of a pay cut would Rashford have to take for Arsenal? Given that our highest paid player is on 265 and he's on 400, he wouldn't be our highest paid player. So I think he'd have to take about 150 grand a week pay cut. Spread that out over the next 4 years. Let's do a bit of arithmetic on how much that would actually cost Rashford. 150 grand a week. That's 150,000 a week. That is 7.8 million a year for 4 years. That would cost him 31 million pounds. That would cost him 31 million pounds in wages to take a pay cut to go to Arsenal and leave Man United. And he would come to a club where he wouldn't be the golden boy. He wouldn't be the academy player. He wouldn't be the number one. It doesn't make logical sense. It doesn't make logical sense. And the only other option other than that is that we pay him close to what he's getting paid now, but that would absolutely destroy the finely crafted wage structure that we currently have. Max said, "Do you want me to buy a new computer and internet?" Yes, if you could. Particularly internet. I don't know if you can link me up to like Elon Musk's internet or something, that thing that comes from space, but something like that would be great. But Max, thank you again for the $2. Could see Arteta paying him $350, which honestly frightens me. There's no way. Arteta worked so hard to fix our wage bill. There is no way he gambles 350 grand a week on Rashford. No way. Get Starlink. It's not that bad. Yeah, we'll Starlink it. Does anyone know Elon? I think Rashford links are a PR stunt by his people to get United fans back in favour. It would be awful if he left and won the title with us. Possibly. I don't know where the PR is coming from. I mean, but the PR isn't coming from. It's not really PR. It's not PR because it's not come from United journalists. It's not come from any journalists. It came from AFC Camden. So I don't really think that would be coming from a PR angle, really. 200 plus 50 a month for 250 meg. See, I'm meant to get a gigabyte download a second, basically, and it is when it works. I've missed the past few streams. What did I miss? I mean, you've missed quite a lot. If just go and look through the thumbnails of the last few streams, and that'll tell you what we've mainly talked about. Obviously, I can't condense a few hours worth of streaming into a 1-minute answer, but I thought AFC Camden was a random Twitter user. Well, he is effectively, but I do think he knows some people. He's close to some people. Like he has said stuff on. He has said stuff on Twitter before that you're like, okay, he knows something. I don't know exactly who he knows or how he knows, but how and why are Havertz on 300k a week then? If he's our highest paid player, Rashford could be, honestly. Havertz isn't on 300 grand a week. He's on about 265. And to be honest, the more he's here, the more Havertz's career has progressed, the more I think you say it's not awful. I mean, it is a bit mad that he came in as the highest paid player, but I don't know. It's just how it goes sometimes. Meant this stream. Most of the stream has been me battling against Virgin Media. We spoke about Rashford. We were speaking mainly about Arteta post Pep. And this was the main thing I wanted to say, actually, that we hadn't even got to. If Arsenal had a bad season next season, right? And by bad, I mean, let's say we finish fourth. We're not in a title race. We finish fourth, so we qualify for the Champions League. Don't have a great Champions League run. Get knocked out of the cups. Like a bad season. But Pep leaves. Would you stick by Arteta? Even if it was because at that point, we'd be 5 years without a trophy. The constant progression that we've seen under Arteta would have stopped because we'd have had a bad season. But Pep is leaving. Do you sack Arteta or do you keep him? I can't remember how I phrased the question, so you're saying yes, but type keep or sack. Type either keep or sack. I should have just run a poll, but the internet's struggling enough without me trying to do that as well. Most of you are saying still back him. President Bozo says no. Dart says Arteta should be sacked then. There's nobody else better. Keep him. Keep. Sack. Keep. Sack. Keep. Okay, so I'd say maybe like 80% of you are saying keep. I'd say maybe 80% of you are saying keep. Maybe closer to 90%. The majority are saying keep. I'd sack him. He's done nothing for us trophy-wise. Keep and have a nice cuddle with him. That might be a bit excessive after a bad season. Inzaghi, Alonso, and Nagelsmann would be available. Yeah, but it depends what you mean by available, right? Nagelsmann's plan is to stay with Germany until the 2026 World Cup. He wants the whole reason he stayed this summer was because he wants to do the 2026 World Cup. Inzaghi might be available. Alonso probably at Real Madrid. Alonso probably goes to Real Madrid next summer. Why is no one linked to Zidane? Stop managing. Doesn't want to manage in England. Always said he'd never manage in England. That's the main problem. So my feeling is with the majority view that I would keep him. And the reason is, look, it would be very disappointing to have that bad season. The reason is, even if there is someone out there who I think long-term is better than Arteta, that first season without Pep is so crucial that I don't think you gamble on a new manager. I think we've seen what Arteta can do. So far, we've got no reason to doubt him, really, other than, okay, he hasn't won trophies as much as he could have done. But keep then if the market is crap. Yeah. But then I think even if the market's good, unless you could bring in Pep yourselves, I do think you probably stick with him. Max with another $10. Rory, I want to let you know that my satellite will be up in a year and I will hook you up with connection. And I bet it would be better than Virgin. Sorry, I didn't know the gift subs would break you. No, I appreciate it, Max. Thank you. If you could, just let me know when that's up and running, and we'll sort it out. AFC Max Starlink. AFC Starlink. You love to see it. But thank you again for the $10, Max. He's still raw and makes some stupid mistakes sometimes. Look at the Villa game, for example. Did Arteta make stupid mistakes in the Villa game? Or did we just not put the ball in the back of their net when we absolutely smashed them in the first half? Because that, I think, and look, now you can say that that's because Arteta didn't do a good enough job in bringing in a goal scorer. You could put that on Arteta. But then I still think our most clinical player is Leandro Trossard, and the best chance of the first half fell to Leandro Trossard, and he didn't put it away. And sometimes that can happen. Do you think the 3 promoted teams are going to go back down? I do. For me, the only team that had a chance of staying up would have been Leicester, because they've still got a significantly stronger squad. Leicester are coming up. They're going to get a points deduction, and Maresca's going. So they've got no manager, and they're starting on negative points. And they were the only team. I don't see Southampton staying up. I don't see Ipswich staying up. I think the gap is big, I think the gap now between the Premier League teams, especially because the 3 promoted teams from last season went straight back down, the 17 teams that are in the Premier League now have been in the Premier League for minimum 2 seasons. So that, again, they've got that under their belt as the financial side of that under their belt. They've got the Premier League pedigree under their belt. I'd be very surprised if any of those 3 stay up, to be honest, which is tough. But man really loves Frankie de Jong. I wouldn't mind Frankie de Jong, I wouldn't mind Frankie de Jong at all, to be honest. Fergie didn't win his first title in his first 7 years. Look at what he went on to do after restructuring the club. Exactly. And do you know what? I truly believe we could have an era of dominance under Arteta. After Pep leaves Man City, I truly believe we could win 3 in a row, Premier Leagues. It'd be very, very tough, but I think that's possible. De Zerbi might go to Leicester? No. De Zerbi left Brighton to move up. De Zerbi left Brighton because he wants a big club, and I think he'll get one. Get the Dutch midfielder from Barca, and we're cooking. Frankie de Jong. It's Arteta's first job too. Exactly. As long as we have at least 1 Carabao Cup in the next 10 years, I mean, you'd hope so. The impact these days is why managers get more pressure faster. The impact of media. Yeah, it is, 100%. My controversial opinion is I think Brentford will get relegated next season. If Brentford lose Thomas Frank, maybe. But I still think they'd have enough, Did we ever have an era with Wenger? Well, we didn't have a dominant era with Wenger because we were fighting with Fergie and United. Our best period was when we won 3 in 7. We won 3 Premier Leagues in 7 years, where it was literally just us and United. So I wouldn't call that a dominant period, no. What do you think on Ugarte links? As in Manuel Ugarte at PSG. I didn't even know we'd been linked to him, to be fair. I was quite interested in. I mean, this is proper OGs. If you remember this, start of last summer, because Ugarte moved last summer, relatively early in the window. Very start of last summer, I was interested in Ugarte after we played them. After we played Sporting in the Europa League, Ugarte got sent off. But I remember saying that's a player that could get into our midfield. If we are linked to him, interesting. Sorry, Rory, but this weak mindset, we need Pep to leave to win, is bullshit. I respect your opinions, but that and backing a manager that's done nothing as a player is shaking my head intensely. No, I don't think we do need Pep to leave. I just think it's far more likely that we win once he has. Like I said, I would love him. I would love us to beat Pep next season. Absolutely love it. And I think we can. I think we can beat Pep next season. But you're still coming up against Pep and Man City. You still have to have the reality that we could get 95 points next season and not beat Pep, right? That's a reality. It just is. The dominant era that Pep has had, that could happen. So what I'm saying is, if you don't beat Pep next season, you better damn well make sure you do beat City the following season if he's gone. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make. A lot is said about Raya being lucky because of the defense in front of him. Look at Brentford last season after losing Raya, a bit of a coincidence. Yeah, exactly. People don't want to see it. People don't want to see it. I can put the stats forward for why Raya has massively improved our defense and why Raya is a part of the defense. But some people just don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to hear it because he doesn't make loads of saves. You know, it is what it is. It's the same as when people bring up defenders' stats and they say, "Oh, look at this defender; he makes so many more tackles." It's like, yeah, because they haven't got a good system. Like, people don't get it. Some people don't get it. We're getting 100 points next year. I'm telling you, it's genuinely possible. It is genuinely possible. We ended this season on what, 89 points, right? We ended this season on 89 points. We should beat Fulham home and away. That puts you on 95. We should have beaten West Ham at home. That puts you on 98. The draws against Villa and Newcastle away, both of them probably deserved a draw. That puts you on 100. Spurs at home, Jesus puts us 2-0 up. We can win that game. You know, I do genuinely believe we could hit 100 points. Not saying we will. And look, the games that went in our favour this season, maybe they don't next season. Maybe we don't equalise against Luton next season. Maybe we don't score the winners against United next season. Maybe we don't pick up a draw at Anfield. You know, there are results that, of course, can go the other way. The Chelsea draw, yeah, but again, the Chelsea draw could have been a loss as well. So it can go either way. But I do think across the season, the way that we played, we could hit 100 points. If everything fell our way, we could hit 100 points. Equally, we could play better next season than this season and not even hit the same points total if a load of things go against us. That's just the reality of football. Thoughts on Chelsea getting Maresca? I don't rate it, to be honest. I don't think they had a plan. Or if they did have a plan, this wasn't the plan. If the plan was to get Maresca, they'd have done it straight away, right? If the plan was to get Maresca, they'd have sacked Poch and brought Maresca in straight away. As it is, we've been hearing Thomas Frank, Kieran McKenna, De Zerbi, Amorim, all these names being linked to them, which suggests that Maresca wasn't the first choice and wasn't the plan. So, is it an upgrade on Poch? I don't think so. And ultimately, I look at it now and I go, you look at the whole club. If you look at Chelsea Football Club as a whole, ownership and board, no experience in the Premier League before Chelsea, haven't proven that they can deal with the Premier League, just have no experience whatsoever. You've now got a manager, never managed in the Premier League, never managed in any top flight division anywhere. And you've got a bunch of players who the majority of them have never won anything and are incredibly young. I mean, the whole top to bottom, players, manager, board, inexperienced. Never done it before. If I was a Chelsea fan, I'd be looking at it and I would be worried. Look, Absolutely, it could all come together. It could come together, the squad under Maresca, it could all come together, it could. But I'd be really worried that it doesn't. I'd be really worried that it doesn't. You know, they went from a Champions League winning squad with a group of players that had all won things to this, you know? And yeah, before Leicester, look, Maresca took by far the strongest squad in the Championship that everyone predicted to get promoted and got them promoted. His only job before that in management, other than Man City's under 21s, was Parma. And I think he averaged about just over a point a game whilst he was at Parma. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. And yeah, he blamed his job at Parma being, going badly. He blamed that on having too many young players who weren't used to the league. Crazy. Crazy. Rory, where do you stand on crackers and dip? Crackers and dip. You're Australian, so I feel like we might have a variant understanding of the term crackers. Are you talking about like cheese crackers that you'd put cheese on? Or are you talking more like crisps? We'll get into it, but I need to know how we're defining crackers here. Because I wouldn't really dip a cracker. I'd put cheese on it. You've answered with yes, but I'm not really sure. Both. Crisps. Get you some good crisps in a dip. You're cooking. Cheese crackers. Stick to cheese is what I would say. I enjoy both. I am absolutely partial to both. Crackers and hummus. I'm not really a hummus kind of guy. Not really a hummus kind of guy. Cracker is a bit racy. I mean, it's literally not. It's literally not. It is if I was using it to describe someone of a certain ethnicity. But we're talking about food. It's not. It's not racy. I only have butter with crackers. I don't like cheese. Yeah, I mean, if you're really struggling, bit of chutney on there. Anyway, I appreciate the super chat, Max. Do you think it's weird how Maresca is only getting a 2 + 1 year contract, but all the players get 7 years minimum, not exactly showing a long-term project? They've been doing this for ages. I mean, I don't think any of the managers they brought in have had more than a 2-year +1 contract, which is crazy. But you're right. It doesn't exactly scream here for the long term. Hashtag Rory Talks Food coming soon. I do need to bring out Rory Talks Food. I do need to do that at some point. Look, anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect. No, I always add that bit. That's for the second bit. Anyway, we're starting now. Clue number 1, this player has only ever played in the Premier League. Clue number 1, this player has only ever played in the Premier League. Clue number 2, they are 28 years old. Clue number 2, they are 28 years old. Clue number 3, they scored 15 goals in 149 games for Arsenal. They scored 15 goals in 149 games for Arsenal. Clue number 4, they currently play in London, but not for Arsenal. Clue number 4, they currently play in London, but not for Arsenal. And clue number 5, they are the nephew of JJ Okocha. Clue number 5, they are the nephew of JJ Okocha. Lots of you got it quite quickly, to be fair. That was a bit too easy, maybe, because people did get it quickly. The first person to get it right, though, and I saw it as it came in, a slight spelling mistake, but he definitely knew what he was typing. Ethan Udall. It is indeed Iwobi. Ethan Udall got it first. So congratulations to Ethan. Pekka was second. Tom was third. Talent was fourth. And Alex Suter was fifth. Jamie very close in sixth. But there you go. Congratulations to Ethan Udall, who got it first. That was easy as hell. Yeah, it was easy. It was easy. Don't know what to tell you. It was an easy one, you know? Guessed the wrong Fulham player? That's tough. Iwobi's 28. Bloody hell, these kids are growing up. Do you know what? I thought the 28 years old might throw some people off. I did think 28 years old might throw some people off. How long was Mikel's first Arsenal contract? I think it was 3. I want to say it was 3. Made the live show. We're going to replay it. Ricardo, enjoy it. Have fun. Ricardo, have fun getting through the middle of it. That'll be enjoyable. Yeah. Enjoy that. 47 days? No, his first contract wasn't 47 days, was it? There we go. VAR. Check complete. Goal given. Ethan Udall has won it. Max, thank you for the $2. Thank you for my VAR. What happened in the middle bit? Virgin Media happened in the middle. Virgin Media happened in the middle of it. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I'm going to give you the entire career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. And you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right wins the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community, but not as much respect as Ethan Udall currently has. This player started their career at B. Nürnberg. They started their career at B. Nürnberg. They went to Eintracht Frankfurt. They went to Fenerbahce. They went to Paris Saint-Germain. They went to Bolton Wanderers. They went to Qatar SC. They went to Hull City. And then they retired and came out of retirement to go to Durgapur. Neunkirchen, Frankfurt, Fenerbahce, PSG, Bolton Wanderers, Qatar, Hull City, retirement, Durgapur. They were there for a month. I don't know what happens with these Indian clubs. There's quite a few players that seemingly went to an Indian club for like a month, years after they'd retired. I don't know what happened with that. Lots of you have got it, though. Lots of you have got it. Do you know what? People that were switched on might have guessed it before I even dropped the clue. If you know how these things can sometimes go. And I think Ross Lawman might have done. Ross Lawman is the winner. It was indeed JJ Okocha. I'm pretty sure he tried to spell Okocha there. The C is next to the V on the keyboard. So we will give it to Ross Lawman. Congratulations, Ross. I don't know if you had actually heard a clue at that point or not. If you didn't, it was just smart thinking. You know me. You might not have known the player, but you know the host. Nick Alt was second. Ethan Udall was third. Look at that. A gold and a bronze medal for Ethan Udall today. Jamie was fourth. And Nuances of Fate. What a name. Nuances of Fate came in fifth. So there you go. Did he not play for Spurs? No, not according to not according to Transfer Market. He did not. The uncle-nephew duo. Exactly. King of YouTube comps. I guessed after the first club and was like, you name JJ, it could be. Yeah, smart play. Quite an odd career, yeah. Quite an odd career, really. PSG, Bolton, Qatar, Hull, Durgapur. I don't think we can have such poor performances as we did this season in the first half. People forget we didn't look great like ourselves until Feb. Previous super chat, can you bring it back up? Is that VAR check complete? Thank you, Max. Max has checked. And there we go. Re-up it. VAR, check complete. Ross Lawman. Ross and Ethan, today's winners. You're right. I do think people forget we started last season quite badly. Like, points-wise, we didn't. You know, we were second in the league after 10 games. We just didn't actually start that well. I think we'll start a lot better next season. I think there's a lot less is going to change in the squad this summer than it did last summer. So there you go. JJ Okocha actually started his career at Blackburn, but was off the books. There you go. A nugget of knowledge from Jake in the chat. Explain the Champions League. It's all changed, bro. It's like a league format. We're in pot 2. So actually the pot that we're in makes no difference. So there are 4 pots, as always. There are 36 teams instead of 32 teams. There are 9 teams in each of the 4 pots, but you actually play 2 teams from each pot. So you play 8 games. 4 of them are at home, 4 of them are away. You play from pot 1, so you'll get drawn against 2 pot 1 teams. You'll play one of them at home, you'll play one of them away. You'll get drawn against 2 pot 2 teams. You'll play one of them at home, you'll play one of them away. Pot 3, 2 teams, 1 at home, 1 away. Pot 4, 2 teams, 1 at home, 1 away. So you play 4 home games, 4 away games against 8 completely different teams. But, like I said, you play 2 teams from your pot anyway. So teams in pot 1 are going to play 2 other teams in pot 1. You know, you could have it where Real Madrid draw Man City and Bayern Munich. Like, that could happen. So the pot that you're in, fairly irrelevant. And then you play a league. So you play all 8 of those games. And for every game, you either get 3 points, 1 point, or no points, exactly the same as a normal league table. Of the 36 teams, the top 8 go directly through to the round of 16. So if you basically finishing top 8 is the equivalent of getting through the group normally in the Champions League. Everyone from 9th down to 24th, so the 16 teams from 9th down to 24th, they will play against each other effectively in a round of 32. So they will play a knockout game against each other, and that will be done where it's like 9th plays against 24th, 10th plays against 23rd, 11th plays against 22nd, etc., etc. The winning teams of those then go through to play the top 8. The top 8 are seeded, so the top 8 can't play against each other. They'll be drawn to play against any of the 8 teams that come through the playoff stage, and then it carries on to the end as normal. So then you've got the round of 16, and then it plays on as normal. Other than that, and then so everyone from 25th down to 36th in the league table, the bottom, however many it is, bottom, what is that? 8, 12? No, 12. Bottom 12. They drop out completely. They will drop out completely. There's no relegation from the Champions League down to the Europa League. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell. That's the whole thing. Is it like that for the Europa and Conference League as well, or just UCL? No, Europa and Conference League, they have 6 pots, and you play 1 team from each of the 6 pots. That's the only difference. So there's 6 pots with 6 teams. So there's still 36 teams, same as in the Champions League. But instead of playing 8 teams, you play 6 teams, 1 from each pot. And yeah, that's it really. You play 1 team from each pot, and then it carries on the same. I don't mind it. It needed a freshen up, but if we win it this season, guaranteed everyone says we didn't win the proper one. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. It will be like that. Anyway, look, that is going to be the end of the stream. I massively appreciate all of you for joining. I can only apologize for what happened in the middle and dealing with that. Do you know what? The fact that we're still at 150 viewers at the end of the stream after going through that is an absolute credit to you. If you could like the stream on your way out, subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be live on Twitch as normal at about 10:15. Link to Twitch is down in the description below. And of course, I'll be live on here tomorrow evening, as always. So yeah, enjoy your evenings, and I'll catch you when I catch you. Goodbye. Oh, and by the way, Max, thank you so much again for the ridiculous support. Goodbye.